Hello everyone, my name is Marc Philipp and I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm a partner at Kearney's Global Healthcare and Life Sciences practice and would like to welcome you to our new episode of the Biopharma R&D Practitioners Voices series about strategy and transformation. Today I would like to welcome a guest with us who I'm very excited about. It's Jane Carroll. Jane is a trained nurse from Boston. She has started her career as a drug safety specialist with Genzyme, and after that moved over to EMD Sereno, which is the biopharma business of Germany-based Merck KGaA. There, Jane went through various leadership positions in the local, regional, and global level. She is a vice president at Moderna and recently moved over to medical affairs, where she's now holding global responsibility for medical excellence. We are super excited to have her, a great female leader in the pharma industry. Now let's listen in to what she has to say in conversation with Kearney's Martin Hodosi, principal in our London office.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming into our beautiful London offices.
Thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
We've known each other for probably 4 years, even longer.
Sounds right.
I mean, one of the kind of defining traits that I saw in you was this genuine interest and genuine kind of passion for patients. I think you've taken that through the positions I've seen you in over these years. And for you, when it comes to things like transformation and digital, it's always been about amping the organization in the search to drive better outcomes for patients. You joined Moderna a couple of years ago in a phase of rapid ramp-up in patient safety.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that was and how you navigated that.
Patients are really at the core of everything that drives me. You know, I imagine myself sitting in a seat in a doctor's office or trying to receive information about a vaccine somebody's giving me, and I want to have the most up-to-date current information, and I want that back for all of the patients that we serve or I have served over my time. I started my career as an emergency room nurse, and that was a key part of anything that I did, was bringing patients through their journey in the emergency room. I did start at Moderna just about 2 years ago. So in the United States at that time, we were vaccinating the elderly. Interestingly, I was volunteering on the weekends, and I was educating them all about a CDC program called V-Safe. And I remember chuckling to myself saying, wow, I bet the vaccine companies are so busy receiving adverse events, because really never, ever as a patient in the United States had I received training to report adverse events, and there I was doing it to every patient. Yeah, so I joined Moderna just about 2 years ago, and I was struck by the mission of Moderna then just as much as I am now.
What role did digital play for you and for Moderna in this journey?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about Moderna is patient safety is at the core of everything we do. And so we bring forward that mindset in pharmacovigilance, and applying on top of that, it's so easy to navigate digital transformation, because if you're moving in the direction of patient safety is at the core of what I do, then all digital systems on top can work. There was incredible opportunities at Moderna to apply digital technology. We had, a very basic system, really long case processing times, and like every vaccine manufacturer, a large influx of adverse events. So applying what I had learned over, the 5 years before, and companies saying, well, artificial intelligence is here. I mean, I really applied that to Moderna to find the best solution so that we could quickly get the adverse events into our system in a high quality way. And again, with patient safety as the guiding light, it becomes much easier to make those decisions and navigate toward the best possible outcome for patients and the pharmacovigilance team at Moderna.
Jane, when we spoke earlier, I introduced you to our concept of neopharma, which is a way we think about a rising new segment of really biotechs that are growing at tremendous speed and trying to redefine what it means to be a successful pharma company. And I remember that you felt that this is not quite the right label, perhaps, for Moderna. Can you tell us about your thoughts?
Yeah, I can. Moderna is a digital platform company. That's what we are. We're not a pharmaceutical company. We're not neopharma. And our mission is to bring the greatest possible impact to patients with our messenger RNA medicines. Historically, pharmaceutical companies are about, bringing one medicine to market for patients, bringing another medicine to market for patients. But it's a completely different mindset where we are fueled by making the biggest possible impact. I proudly see Moderna as a digital platform company and less so a pharmaceutical company, a neopharma or a traditional pharmaceutical company.
And you have every right to be proud, and I think under your time or your tenure at Moderna, you've really set out quite successfully to build an organization that will last, that is thought about for the future. Can you tell us a bit about what you were trying to achieve and how you thought about setting up this organization?
As I imagine my work or the work that the team is doing, I think about where are we going? Building for the future and not building for right now. So if I'm applying digital technology in everything that we're doing in really agile ways, in different applications across literally everything we do, if I'm building the capabilities and the people for right now, I'm certain that that's going to look different in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. So, I think it starts with, where do I want to go? How can I imagine this? Can this technology possibly work? And taking a big bet on that. And then as I think about the people and the capabilities that they need to have to be successful, it's all about the future and hiring for that and not hiring where we are today, because it's a completely different group of people, and our ways of working are so incredibly different than they were 2 years ago. So I think that is so much part of the team that I'm building. Is we just have to build for the future, the capabilities, the people, the ways of thinking. The jobs today are not the same that they're going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, for sure.
The building was a key theme of these years, and Moderna has obviously grown tremendously. You also have experience in your past of navigating change in an established environment, and sooner or later this time I'm sure will come for Moderna as well, right? What lessons can you take from this journey and from this mindset of envisioning the future into such an established environment when it's less building and more changing and improving kind of what is there?
I think there's something to be said for having non-expert leaders lead functions, because it's allowed me to be super curious. Well, why are we doing it that way? I don't get it. That doesn't make logical sense. Instead of reacting with my 20 years of experience, well, that's the way that it's always done. So it helps sort of break that mold of thinking and thinking out literally outside the box. I think the answer is, what does that bring? What value does a new system, a new way of operating bring to patients, bring back to the organization, and really starting there, and then prioritizing the highest areas of impact. It is a little bit different, and I think there are tremendous opportunities. I know in industry groups and talking to people, the opportunities are there, but we have to go for it, and it's hard work, and we need to work together. Imagine a commercial medical affairs and R&D organization together laying out the priorities and the benefits we could see from a digital transformation, sharing data, looking at that data, I think the opportunities are really there.
Jane, this theme of lateral moves, of moving horizontally, taking your learnings and translating them into a different environment, I think it's something that's super important and that we see with excitement is growing in the industry and in R&D. It hasn't always been that way. I also remember a lot of conversation with R&D leaders who were very reluctant to see something that isn't really vertically grown from a leadership perspective, but also from an innovation perspective. And I'm relatively confident that this will stay and this will grow, and that it opens up new avenues of innovation. What do you see for yourself and for the industry as what's coming next in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think Moderna recently announced our RSV results, our RSV vaccine results, and it's incredible. It's incredible what we've done. In January 2021, we started our phase 1 study, and we're just reading out phase 3 results in January 2023. 2 years. And this is what I'm talking about making the greatest possible impact to patients with our messenger RNA platform, with our messenger RNA medicines. So this ability to do things different, to build for the future. This is how organizations must transform to have the greatest possible impact. So that's what I really see. I always say I want to continue to do really cool things with really cool people, to bring solutions to patients faster, with higher quality. I want to do all of that. And I want to help my team and the people that I get to work with, that I have the pleasure of working with, to think different, to imagine a different future and not be afraid to try it, and not be afraid to go after what we want, and how we see the future. I think for myself personally, I didn't know that I could question convention and bring forward real differentiated company-wide operating models the way that I now know that I can, and that's what I want to build on that. I want to continue to look at the whole operating model instead of these little siloed operating models, and operate in there. And I think that is where we can really bring change. I want to be really unapologetic about it too. And that's how I see the industry. And that's what I want to continue to do myself.
So constant accelerating change, innovation under that guiding light of patients, outcomes for patients, and doing cool things with cool people and with strong leaders such as yourself. Thank you for coming, Jane, and sharing these words with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a great conversation.